Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, TGIF. It is March 27th, and we are off and rolling into this new quarter, y'all. You were 3/16 of the way to being done with high school, and this is the most unconventional high school year I've seen in my 21 years of teaching. So congratulations to that. I hope you're not getting too stir crazy. I've been trying to mix it up a little bit and adding in some social media to class so I can see share some pictures with y'all and hopefully add a little FaceTime to our meetings. Don't forget too, y'all, we got one more week and then we have spring break. So I know there's a lot of getting used to, a lot of adjusting, but just do stay invested and engaged up through spring break. You can see down here, I put it in bright green. Hopefully you'll have a chance to get outdoors a little bit during that time. So I want to start off today just by walking you through a little bit of where we've been and where we're going, and then jump right back into the TPCast TT lesson. So first off, if you let's take a look here. So if you look, I'm continue to break the day down into question of the day, video of the day, our lesson, and then let me get the right week. Sorry about that. Our lesson and then things that are due and things that you can work on after class. I'm really trying to break this down so that you can achieve all our goals for the day in 20 to 40 minutes. That's including lesson and class time and our homework as well. I'm working on coordinating with some of your other classes, make sure we're not overlapping, but we'll keep on working on that. Haven't gotten that fully in place yet. So yesterday you read the poem Ithaca, and you click here, and I read it out loud to you on the video yesterday. And then we started the TPCast TT, and then I just added another video from a different perspective, from another teacher. And I've started to put the time on the videos here just so you can have a sense of how long it might take you to complete the lesson, watching the video part of the lesson that day. We're going to do chat. We did chat Zoom yesterday, and then today we're going to actually experiment with our having Zoom classes. So we're going to break it up by blocks. So periods 1 and 2 will be 1 to 120, and it'll you can definitely be done at 120. Log off if you have another class to get to. Then periods 3 and 4 from 130 to 150, and periods 7 and 8, 2 to 220. These are required unless there's some reason you can't do them. And in that case, you should have answered on the question of the day yesterday that you had some reason that you couldn't do Zoom. So we're going to start moving into that to make sure we're all on the same page. So one quick thing, too, before we jump into the lesson for today is grades are in the grade book. I've graded everything that I have, so feel free to check and see what you got for quarter 3 as we move forward. All right, y'all, so let's jump into the lesson for today. So I just copied and pasted the lesson from yesterday. It's our first activity in our poetry unit. So again, it's to read Ithaca by C.P. Cavafy, which we did yesterday, and then read the TPCast TT sheet. Everything is linked up for you right here. And then your job for Monday, and this is your first minor grade of the quarter, is to open this doc and then go in and fill out the TPCast TT. So let's open up our work from yesterday. I'm going to go actually over to Google Classroom. I want to make sure y'all know that our landing page is always quarter 4 calendar, but then the Google Classroom will be a great place for us to go when we're going to be turning and submitting things as well for me to grade, since there's no way to turn anything in on the calendar. So as I go over to the Google Classroom, and I know it's been a little glitchy on your phones, hopefully that'll clear up. You can see right here on the to-do list, due Monday, Ithaca. So if you click on that, it'll bring you right to where you're going to end up turning it in. And I think I posted on here the Bobby Fart Knuckle sample. Yeah. So you can see again here, I posted a few repeat things. So if we click on Bobby Fart Knuckle, and let's see if he's gotten any work done since yesterday. So yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, let me go ahead and open the poem. It's right here. just so we have that at hand. So unless you did it all at once, you're going to need to continue to revisit the poem and make sure that you're really plugged in with it. So just a quick refresher. Ithaca by C.P. Cavafy starts off with, as you set out for Ithaca, hope your road is a long one. All right. And we covered a lot of the first stanza. There's 5 stanzas in this poem. That's something we started in on yesterday as we started to talk about the title. All right. So let's see. What does a final one look like? Let's go ahead and click on this sample from a student from last year. And let's see what she did and see what our end result should look like. So I believe this is Jackson. Might even be from 2 years ago. So it's not the same poem, but look at how much he wrote. So you can get a sense how he's using paragraphs. He's introducing his ideas. He's broken out his connotations into the specific parts. And then getting a little laggy up here today. I'm not sure if that's coming through on your end, but anyway, you can scroll through on this on your own. You can see he's got a very thorough TP-Cast TT. So see how close you can come to Jackson as we work on this one. It's just our first try though, but I do want you to remember that nothing counts so much as being very thorough. All right. So yesterday we talked about the title. What do we think this poem's going to be about? What can we talk about Ithaca? What's our pre-existing knowledge? So I have allusion to the Odyssey. Odysseus' homeland was Ithaca. This was his kingdom and the place where his wife and child Telemachus were waiting for him to return. So there's a lot of that idea of waiting for return and things like that. So try to fill up as much of the space you can with your own ideas. What does Ithaca mean to you? What can you take from just reading the Odyssey? Then our paraphrase. So here, Bobby Fartknuckles already started. He's done the first stanza. He says the first stanza addresses you. I guess that means me. Then it says it wishes that my road is a long one. All right. Does that mean that the poet wants to be lost for a long time? So you can use questions, y'all. And like me here, make sure you're using a question mark. Then he mentions the cannibals, the Cyclops from the Odyssey. Then it says, then it says these moments or obstacles are only there if they come from my soul. Does that mean my mind? What is a soul, right? So these questions are really good. And so your job is to go ahead and keep filling this out with your own observations. I've broken it down and numbered it because there's 5 stanzas. So if you look, the next step would be read the second stanza. So keep Ithaca always in your mind. Arriving there is what you're destined for. There's that idea of destiny again. Think about what it means. Do you have a destiny? And what will your legacy be? Things like that. So Bobby's going to come on back over and say, the poet mentions destiny, and then try to define it. Destiny is the goal of our lives, our path, and y'all use your own voice here. Use whatever style you feel is most effective to convey your ideas. It doesn't always have to be complete thoughts. It doesn't have to be perfect. I do need to be able to make sense of it, though. So we'll keep on going. So I'm going to leave you all with that. And I'm going to go ahead and work my way through the rest of the TP-Cast TT system right now. So connotation. We know that connotation means the implied meaning of a word. Make sure you read all the instructions here. It's really helpful. So first off, you're going to go through the meter, the rhyme scheme, the number and type of stanzas. So we have 5 stanzas. And then we can look through, look at the different lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 lines there, 3 lines there. That's a tercet, another tercet. So you can label them if you want. You can just Google the different names for the different lines of stanzas. Then you can count the meter. The meter is the number of syllables per line. We can just see on how this line ends, right? See, all the lines are different lengths. So while it doesn't have an exact rhythm or meter, that's the number of syllables per line, we can still go through and count some of them. So as you set out for Ithaca. So we got 8 syllables there. Hope your road is a long one. 7 syllables there. So you can even go 8, 7, whatever the syllable count is, and just label it there. You don't have to do the whole poem, but doing a few could be really fruitful. Count the total numbers of lines in the poems. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, going down to the end, and then you can put the line count. As much detail as you can get out of here. And then rhyme scheme is done like this. You look at the last word of each line. Ithaca, 1. Discovery, Cyclops. Them, way, high, excitement, body. Just doesn't look like there's a rhyme scheme to me. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in no rhyme scheme. Okay. All right, great. Now, diction, you need to pick 3 words, put them in there, and put why they were chosen. So, one word I'm going to pick is, let's see, always in your mind. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put the word mind. I'm going to put a little hyphen here. And I'm going to put memory, right? I think the author means that our mind here means memory, and it can be helpful if you count the line numbers too and put the line numbers with it. That'll help me kind of keep track of where you are in the poem. You have an option here. You can hit enter and come down to the next one, or you can hit semicolon and write your next word there. But I do want you to find at least 3 words to look up and explain their connotation. Imagery. All right, let's go back and see if we can find any imagery, right? Let's see. If you're old by the time you reach the island, wealthy you've gained on the way, not expecting Ithaca to make you rich. Nothing's jumping out of me yet here. Ooh, sensual perfume. Nice. Just copy and paste, right? What do we call sensual perfume? What type of imagery? Olfactory. That's right. Olfactory imagery. Put a little hyphen there. And then we can just put paste. All right. Control Shift V. We'll paste it in the right format. Put that in quotes. Show it's in quotes. All right. That idea of the sensual perfume. Okay. So there's a good example. Point of view is first person, and then it says why. That really means what's the purpose of first person. And so I put it's really trying to show that this poet is advising us. You can put whatever you want. Symbols. Let's see if I can pull one symbol for you here. Ooh, and there's some visual imagery. Amber and ebony. Mother of pearl. Ooh, that's a good one. All right, pearl is always a really powerful symbol. Does anyone know what pearl might be a symbol of? That's right, wealth. So pearl, and we'll use the equal symbol here. Wealth and value. Okay. So figurative language, metaphor, similes, personification. Sensual perfume of every kind, be a good example of hyperbole. And so you can check that from your literary terms you've been studying. All right, make sure you're putting the quotes and quotation marks. That helps me see that you're pulling direct text evidence as we fill this form up. And then other devices. What else can you find? This is where we can use alliteration, onomatopoeia, allusions. Obviously, even hyperbole might better fit down here. I might have gotten ahead of myself up there. So fill in whatever you can get there. All right, moving on. Attitude, y'all. Attitude really relates to the tone of the piece, and this is where you'll write more in longhand. Sentences explaining what the multiple attitudes. Do you think it's a longing poem? As I read this, I think it's one that talks about memory, longing, and a quest for adventure. So I'm going to put longing for adventure runs throughout the poem, and then you're just going to keep on, going from there. And I apologize. The font's coming in really large. I'm just going to put it back to 12-point font. And then you go on and keep on answering those questions for the attitude of the poem. Our shifts, a good easy shift is right at the between our stanzas. I think those are always good shifts. So go back and look to see what's happening here. All right. We set the stage. Then it moves into this more metaphorical sense of the road being a long one. So you can put the shift between first and second stanza goes from allusion to the Odyssey to advice for a traveler of the world or something like that. Again, I'm not so much looking for you to get anything right as I am for you to just write and just be extensive with your thoughts. Boom, we're getting close to the end, y'all. So now we're going to come back to the title. Now, when we look back, I think we can all agree that there's an ironic view of the place of Ithaca, right? Perhaps Ithaca is not a literal place here, but it's a metaphorical place. It's a symbolic place, all right? So it's ironic because the place of Ithaca is where Odysseus wants to get to in the Odyssey, but here this poem really seems to be telling you to take your time. So it's an ironic view of the place of Ithaca. Do not get home too quickly because the getting there is the fun part. It's kind of cliche, but you get the gist of what I'm getting at. And you'll continue to elaborate on that and continue to revisit the instructions when you run out. And then finally, you want to come up with a theme. So themes are tricky. I want you to think about how you can put the theme into your own words, avoid cliches, think about the subject. So you can start off by saying the poem is about place and the importance of place. You can even get into first person. It reminds me of this current situation. All right. I am stuck at home. All right. I cannot go outside. I have no adventures. I have no quests. I have no cyclopses, right? The cyclops might sound pretty appealing to you right now after being trapped inside for 2 weeks. So build that into the theme. And we're going to move away from the idea of a theme being one sentence, cliche. Get your monies out of your whatever penny saved is a penny earned, whatever. Just write a little 3-4 sentence paragraph going on about what you feel your takeaway is from this poem. So this is the Bobby Fartknuckle here. So y'all, I know these lessons are getting longer and longer, and I'm just trying to be as thorough as possible so I can get y'all moving into quarter 4 and doing the best you can. So I'm going to leave off there today. Feel free to beg, borrow, and steal from the things I've already written. Those are up for grabs. Y'all, this is the first time we've done this. So again, just do your best, and hopefully this will be a good starting point for us as we get going in the quarter. All right, y'all, let's go back before we head into the weekend. Hopefully I'll be seeing all of you to ask questions about this video today. I'm also going to send you a survey tomorrow. They'll ask you about how the workload's going. How are you breaking up your day? Are you getting too much stuff from different teachers? Are my videos too long? What can I do to better help serve you? As we look to next week, the last week before spring break, we can see we're going to continue on with our TPcast TT. I'm going to introduce our first Poetry Out Loud project. We have 2 Achieve 3000s next week that are on the, they're already, oh no, just 1 Achieve 3000. Sorry about that. So that's already up there on the stream. You can find that and do it whenever you want. On Wednesday, we have something new. I'll explain it more on Monday, but if you want to just go into No Red Ink, you can go ahead and find it with a bunch of explanation. We're going to start doing an in-class writing prompt once a week, a little 20-minute writing prompt. Each week will be a different prompt, and that'll be the way we stay in writing practice. And then we have our terms quiz. Terms quiz next Friday. So I haven't quite figured out how we're going to quiz you yet, but I will keep you posted. All right, last but not least, y'all, don't forget, learn mode. Learn mode is due today. Due today. So I was hoping make sure those things get in there, and I'll go ahead and click here and show you how I'm going to be checking that. So hopefully you've given me your Quizlet handle, but if not, please do. So let's say period 8. Let's go ahead. We've been doing team nothing. All right, so if we scroll down, I click my progress bar, and this is how I'm going to give you your first daily grade of the year. So it's really important you get this because it'll be a 0 or it'll be 100. Brooks Bennett Daniels, 100. Charlie, 100. Cody, 100. Evan, 100. Mason Camp, 100. Shannon, 100. And then Lauren Wong, 100. So if you're not in here, get in here, finish this thing by the end of today, or if not by 3:45, it's going to be a 0. And then we don't want to start the quarter with the 0. That's not a good look. So, all right, y'all. Well, stay strong. Keep carrying on, and I will see you during our Zoom class today. Don't forget, too, if you have questions, please make sure you're putting them onto the question chat room here. You can send me emails if you need an immediate response, but this generally will be the place where we'll post questions, and then I can answer them in an efficient way where other people can see them. This is our little chat room for quarter 4. And I will see you all later.